Okay, let me start with asking you, when you hear the word diabetes, what do you think of?
Well, I think of people that really don't take care of themselves and lose feet and toes and eyesight and stuff like that.
Okay. And Frazier, what do you think of when you hear that word?
When I hear that, I think of the worst. I think of like losing somebody, you know, like death coming and taking them away.
Okay. So you have diabetes.
Yes.
All right. So tell me just a little bit about what your experience has been with diabetes.
Well, I've not had diabetes, but probably 10 years or maybe a little longer. Of course, I never was used to being around diabetes. And my mom, she would go to the doctor and she'd say, well, I've got that old sugar. That didn't mean anything to me. And she'd, sometimes, you know, she had the low and the high and they couldn't figure out. And she'd have to go to the doctor and eat a pack of nabs and then go out and stay 2 hours and come back and eat 2 more, you know, nabs. And she's all right. But then I guess it was what the doctor would tell me, says, you're on the borderline, you better watch your sugar. Well, that didn't mean anything to me. Not a thing. They didn't explain anything, you know. And if they had have said, well, they would have had to have said, Helen, you're going to get sugar and you're going to lose your eyesight. They're going to take your feet off. I might have listened. But they didn't. So, but I went on several years and I was all right. And then probably 5, 6 years ago, right before Christmas, I got sick. I had, you know, like a flu, and so I went to the doctor, and my sugar was 400 and something. So that right there set it off, and I've kept it under, you know, like 7. And anyway, for the last 2 times I've had my A1C, the doctor has, you know, really commented on, you know, the 6.3 and stuff like that. So Frazier helps me. He goes to the meetings with me every time, and that helps. I would have probably dropped out and not went half the time if he hadn't went with me. So, but whenever I can eat a snack that I'm not supposed to before I go to bed, my feet burns. And then I thought, well, I've got to back off. And
so you get a little information. Yeah. And your body talks to you.
Yeah. But I take my reading with my monitor. Sometimes, you know, if I'm not real sure, I'll take it several times a day. And anyway, I take it quite a bit. And we really don't eat a lot of things that we're not supposed to. Sometimes we'll come back down on the potatoes, you know. And that's probably our worst thing. So, biscuits.
Oh yeah.
I make a lot of biscuits. Now I can tell the difference when I'm eating bread, biscuits, and stuff like that. I can tell the difference.
I don't ask her, you know, to fix anything special for me, you know, that she can't have, you know, like we have, you know, discussed and decide what to get, you know, and to eat, you know, for her benefit, which is beneficial to me. So we work together and, you know, try to help her, and you know, and that helps me too.
So you've been able to kind of be a little healthier because you're eating her diet and doing her.
And earlier, maybe, before this, she was diagnosed with this, like we was very active for years. I mean, we would dance 3 and 4 nights a week,
Really?
I mean, we really danced. I mean, we was really, really into
I
it,
I didn't have diabetes.
And I think that, maybe have delayed it, which it could have. And then we had problems with our parents. We had to take care of them, so we had to cut down on our dancing.
What kind of dancing?
Flatfoot, clog, square dance,
Oh.
two-step, waltz, the Virginia reel, the line dance. I mean, we could do it.
Now, is there a group here in the community that still does that?
We went to Abingdon.
We went to Abingdon, and there was groups over there. We belonged to the train station clockers at one time, and we was taking lessons from clocking, and they were really good. And I mean, they'd teach you a song every lesson. It'd be a new song, and they'd expect you to know it the next time you come in. We had a lot of fun and met some of the nicest people there was.
We've had about three different teachers, and we thought that we was up on it, until we got to that train station cloggers, and we put ourselves back in the beginning.
And they was so far ahead of us, we didn't know anything about it, but we stuck in there. This one little old lady, she was, I don't know how old, but she's older than we were. And she'd bring her boombox and record the music,
Well, we did too.
She could dance. I mean, she'd catch on to those steps just like that. And she had rode a motorcycle, but white top or somewhere, and run over the mountain. About got killed, but she's right back. I mean, she's tough as leather. But yeah, we used to be very active, but we're still active, but not that much. We're always out in the yard doing stuff. And working, around the house, and with the grandchildren and the children, we're doing something. So maybe that's helpful.
So Helen, are there other people in your family with diabetes?
My brother.
Your brother has it.
Yeah.
And your children?
No.
Do you worry about your children or your grandchildren?
Well, yeah, it's a concern,
The other grandparents, has got sugar too.
Yeah, the ones that's, the grandchildren. It's a concern, and we try to keep them active, and so that they'll learn something that'll help them,
Y'all have a garden?
Yeah,
The
we
first
built
time
it.
this year.
We built it.
Did you?
Yeah, we got a 7-foot fence around it, and we did everything. Like
Dug post holes, and we would set the post, and Helen would hold it while I poured concrete around it.
yeah,
We got it good. I mean, it's nice looking. I mean, it's attractive, and we built us a gate for it, and we had to build it.
7-foot fence?
We had to do that to
to
keep the deer out, because the deer eats everything we have. They're just in the yard all the time. So, but we've had a real good garden. We've had green beans, tomatoes. We had a mess of peas. We have onions, squash, cucumbers. We had peppers, lettuce.
Wow. Sounds like a big garden to me.
Well, it's not very
16 by 24.
big. Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, plenty big. So and we enjoy it.
So this is the first time?
Yeah.
The first time
Here.
Since we live now, but before we had to move to where we live now, we had a garden, a huge garden. Every year we put out a huge garden. We raised potatoes, corn. We raised it all.
That was with his parents.
Right.
Yeah. We put up everything: canned green beans and tomatoes, hundreds of quarts a year. It seemed like that's all we got done was canning.
I got 5 cans of tomatoes out of our garden.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
And we got 24 quarts of green beans.
Uh-huh.
So,
Have you involved your grandchildren in...
our little granddaughter, she came down and she wanted to, help in the garden. So we had got us some tomato plants and we put them out. So we needed 3 more, to finish the row. So we went and got 3 more. So we waited till Amanda got there to put them out. And she loved it. She loved it. And now she likes veggies and stuff like that more than the boy does. But yeah, they, and they come down, they love to help Helen and I. There's anything we want them to do that, they can do, we involve them, and let them help us.
That's
We have
wonderful.
work days with them.
Yeah.
That's how they make their money.
So they come and they actually have some real jobs.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Well, do you talk to them about diabetes and staying healthy while you're doing these things, or?
Not while we're doing it, but we talk to them.
Yeah. See, when Helen fixes like dinner or lunch or whatever, she fixes veggies, just like a normal, like we would eat, and we introduce it to them, and, to get them introduced to, the right type of foods.
Now, do your children cook that way too, or how is that?
No.
They're more fast food.
Uh-huh.
But we're trying to get the grandchildren out of that routine, But now when the children come home, Helen fixes a real nice
Oh,
dinner.
they love my
They
cooking.
love it, honey. They sit down and they just pig out,
They,
I mean, it's, it's got a lot of veggies and a lot of the, the right foods in it, for everybody.
So, in the winter time, when you can't work in the garden or outside, how do you get activity? How do you stay active?
Well, we have a treadmill and we have another machine that kind of shakes you, and we have a,
one of those that really shakes you.
and we dance a little bit, not a lot, but we still kind of, high step a little bit. And I like to jump rope, and the grandchildren do too. We compete, and we
You
just,
beat them?
Yes, he does.
I do. But I'm afraid I'm not going to now because they're getting bigger and better. But it tickles them to death, because they'll say, okay, we'll see who can jump to 100 first. You ever want to jump, and whenever they miss, another one to jump. So you get to jump, and the first one gets to 100 wins. So I have won, But now Amanda, she's very, very athletic, and she's going to be hard to beat anymore.
She has got the presidential fitness award 2 years in a
Excellent.
straight.
And she goes to school right there in the middle school.
Is that right? And how old are they?
She's 10. The little boy, he's 14. He's a freshman at the high school. this year.
Okay, really good.
Now they're both involved in sports. Like she's in cross country. She runs with the high school team. And she's just in the 5th grade. She don't run every day. She runs 3 days a week. They run 5. And he's into soccer. He played for the soccer team last year, the JV or the 8th grade. So they
Well, that's
love
terrific.
it.
That's
They love it.
terrific. So, and I know that you go to the support group.
Yeah,
So tell me a little bit about what do you get out of that support group?
I have learned some little something every time I go. Especially since the pharmaceutical, the people from the pharmacy school has been there. But I don't know of a time that I've not learned a little something.
Everyone shares their feelings and like how they're doing, their like their sicknesses and stuff, and what they do for it, and everybody talks back and forth, and you learn what's good for you, like even for food, what you eat, and the pharmacy students, that talk, they explain all of that. If you've got any question, they can answer it, and if they can't answer it, they have someone there, that teaches pharmacy and pharmacy too, that can help, and it's very helpful, and we have a real good group here at the Baptist Church,
Really?
each the second Monday night of each month, we have 20 up in the 20s, sometimes 30 come, and we just have a real good time. They take your A1Cs or cholesterol, and if you've got any questions about your medicine, they're there to help you, and tell you what you shouldn't take, or I wouldn't take this or that, and explain everything. I mean, in depth. They're very helpful. Very helpful.
Do you advertise that? How do people?
Yeah, it's in the paper every day, every week.
It's in the paper, on the radio, and they have a diabetes program on the radio that they,
On Monday.
on Mondays. It's been on there forever and ever, and they always advertise it, and the Swords Creek meeting too, and it's always in the paper, and everybody that comes, when they come, they register and they give me their phone number, and I call them the next meeting. That morning I get up early and I call everybody and invite them to the support group meeting, and if I can't get a hold of them, I leave a message.
Well, and that makes a difference. It makes
does.
people feel
It
welcome.
does.
doesn't it?
Because so many of them say, that's right, I had forgot that, I'm glad you called, And it's just, it's just fun, and then everybody comes and everybody just, oh, how are you today, and everybody just loves to see each other, when they're there, everybody talks and has a good time, and just real nice.
And you have new people coming?
We've had several new people come in, within the last 6 months.
Yeah.
There was some came that had never been there, and then some comes back that's been there, off and on, and then the ones that started coming, just recently, they're pretty regular now. So
We met some of the family of some of the licensed new ones, and we told them about it, in Bristol, in the mall. And sure enough, here they come, brought their family, and
That's good.
we've told a lot, like out in the store,
we were talking about the Cleveland elementary school, the principal, Larry Rasnick. He's real good with the children, and he's the one that's got everything stirred up, about the, diabetes and stuff, the walk and everything.
Right.
He comes, and I mean, everybody just, enjoys everybody. And he comes and tells things that they do,
Right.
I think he even has the children to walk around track every day, and he probably goes with them, I'd say.
Right. Well, that's.
I mean, he's a diabetic, and his was real.
He was.
Yeah, but he worked so hard to lose weight and to get it down, and honey, he's keeping it down too.
And the teachers has the Biggest Losers and all that stuff.
Yeah. And they won Blue Ribbon School of the Year
Wow.
last year, and I mean he's really involved in children, loves children, and to try to keep them healthy and physically fit. I mean, he's great.
Now, and you both are involved now with the coalition, right?
Yeah.
The Diabetes Coalition, and which is something newer that we were trying to get started. What makes you become involved with that? Why?
I guess just being involved with the support group, it just kind of feels, similar. It's the same, to just get involved and try to help someone to, have a better life,
We enjoy people.
Yeah.
That's-
We never meet a stranger. We can go to shopping at Food City and spend 3 hours, and then just halfway through the store. If you see somebody in one aisle, you talk an hour. You go around to the next aisle, there's someone else. But we, and we tell everybody about our programs, and invite them, and they'll say, "Well, I've got sugar. I'm not. Well, you need to come to our meetings, So.
Wish the community had more people like y'all.
Well, they do. The community's full of them. It's just getting them to,
Get involved.
yeah,
Yeah.
to get them involved.
So you're doing some talking and thinking about ways to make some sort of lasting changes in the community through work with the coalition. What are you thinking about? Some of the things y'all been talking about.
Well, we've not really talked among ourselves, about anything yet. But, like walking trails, which we've got walking trails. I mean, they're different places that you can walk. But like if we could get a YMCA, you know, to get that started, to have more, a place for everybody to, you know, come to, it would help everybody.
What do you think the best way to get the word out about making changes and getting more active and taking better care of yourself? How would you suggest to do that best in this community? Send you to the grocery store probably would be one way.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Well, if we can get our leaders, you know, like the superintendent, like the board of supervisors, you know, the chain of command down, you know, through the schools to get the children, you know, on the right track, and hopefully that the parents will follow, you know, and say, well, this is what we need to do, you know, because we can't let our children just go like this and not try to help them, you know, because if they do, I mean, it's going to be sad. It's going to really be sad when everybody comes down with diabetes. What are you going to do? I mean, you have to get involved and be active, you know. I mean, just get out and just play. You know, if the children get out and play and not get, you know, taken up like so many of them have with their games, you know. They're good, but not all the time, you know. Try to get them out, you know, walk them, play ball with them, you know, and stuff like that. Just
I think we have decided that we're going to get the hula hoops going and the jump ropes going and all beanbag and all that stuff Saturday.
Well, and just this morning we was watching TV and you know, they was talking about frisbee golf.
Yeah, we saw it.
Well, we seen it on TV. I said, well, we can do that Saturday. I said, you see them boxes sitting in there where we've got our backpacks and stuff in? I said, put about 3 boxes out there and give them kids those frisbees and say, throw them in them boxes.
You have to number them.
Well,
Yeah.
but anyway, get them out and just to do stuff, you know.
Exactly.
I mean,
And most of them, Frazier's a big cut up, and the children just love him and just go after him all the time.
Well, that's what it takes. I mean, I love the idea of this intergenerational, you know, because sometimes parents are busy and they, you know, but there's such wonderful folks like yourselves out in the community who really can engage children and getting more. We'll be ready in just a minute. Getting more grandparents and younger children together, I think, is a real wonderful opportunity.
A lot of grandparents are involved.
Seems like there's more grandparents than it is the parents. I guess maybe they have more time where the parents are working, you know, and they don't have as much time. The grandparents kind of step in, you know, to help. And I mean, I like that, you know, like Helen and I, we just love to do stuff, you know, for the children, you know, to try to help them, you know, and we want them to be involved, you know. We don't want them to get come down later in life and be sick and not able to do nothing, not enjoy life. We want them to stay as healthy as they can, you know, because so many children, you know, don't have that opportunity, you know. Like in my family, I lost 3 of my siblings, 2 at 25-year-old and 1 at 26, you know. And, you know, there's just like children, you know. And, you know, if they could have lived, you know, to see their children grow up, you know, and to help, you know. It's to get involved and to try to help someone have a better life, healthier life.
Now we're involved with their children.
Yeah.
And did your siblings die from diabetes or
They had leukemia.
leukemia? That's really a tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my other brother got drowned. So all 4 of my siblings.
Wow.
He was 55 and got drowned.
So you have to live life for all those folks, I
Yeah.
imagine. You're doing really well with your diabetes now.
Yeah, the doctor, the last time I went to the doctor, which I hadn't you know, my A1C and, you know, see how I'm doing. The nurse called me and told me, you know, that everything, you know, the doctor told her to call me and comment on my A1C, which was 6.3, and I've come across one thing, and that was day before yesterday, and I can't understand. I took my reading, and it was 160. Okay, I got out, and of course I had 2 pieces of toast. I got out after I'd done my reading, and I cleared a big old bank, you know, through the limbs and all, you know, making me a stack to burn. So I got up there and I worked, you know, throwing those limbs down, you know, so I could haul them off. And I went home in probably 2 more hours, and it was 167, and I can't understand that. I don't.
Well, sometimes you just got to ignore it and keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing the right things. And I'm not going to try to get into explaining the science of it all to you,
but stuff like that, it kind of...
It throws you sometimes. Yeah, but don't dwell on it, just because you're doing the right things. And chances are the next time you measure, you're going to be fine. You know, but you still have those moments, and things go on in our bodies, and it gets pretty complicated sometimes.
Yeah.
But as long as you're doing, you know, watching your diet like you have been, and taking your medicines and being active, you're doing the right things.
Yeah, we ask each other, have you ate? Have you taken your medicine? You know, we kind of watch out for each other, you know. I mean, just so we don't slip up, you know.
Yeah.
We'll be out working, you know, and he'll say, you better go take a snack. And my snack during the day, which is, you know, peanut butter crackers.
Right.
That's what it is. And I don't drink anything except 1 coffee in the morning, water during the day, and some iced tea with Splenda overnight, and that's all I drink. No, we don't even buy sodas. We don't even buy them.
Good for you. You've won that battle.
Yeah.
You know, used to, that's all we would do is drink them, you know. I could go out and buy me a Mountain Dew and sip on that thing, and man, it's just like, it just gives you energy, you know, but it's not good for you, all that sugar. So we just decided to not do that anymore, you know. And I was talking to this man that had diabetes. He was drinking a diet Mountain Dew, and I said, you're not supposed to be drinking that with sugar. And they said, oh, it don't have no sugar in it, it's a diet. But it had, what is it, aspartame, had that in it. And that's just as bad, I guess.
And the alcohol and candy, alcohol, sugar, is just as bad. And we tell people stuff like that.
Well, that's good. So you're just a walking educational center.
Yeah.
Huh?
So
That's great. That's terrific. Well, I think I could just sit here and talk to you all day, actually. But because we have other folks, I think I've asked you most of the things that I really wanted to. But before we end, is there anything else that you'd like to share? And make sure that we include.
Whenever I think, and I'm thinking about, you know, getting a big cone of ice cream or something, and I think, no, I think of my feet. I can't do my feet like that. I want to see. I can't go blind, and I'll stop right there. That helps more than anything.
Well, that's good advice. Just stopping and thinking.
And the doctor told me that I didn't need any diabetic shoes at all because my feet was in such good shape. So.
There's all that clotting y'all did early on.
Yeah.
Oh, I wore out three, 4 pairs of tap shoes.
But that was the most fun, and it's really good for you. I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, anybody that likes to dance, you know, and have fun, you know, I mean, go for it.
Have you tried to get a group started here in Russell County?
No,
We had one over at Clinchfield,
Yeah.
and of course, 2 of them died.
Well, but you know, so many of the young people don't have an opportunity to even know how to do those things.
They say, "Oh, that's weird." Our granddaughter said, "Ooh, that's weird."
But it's
But
surprising.
we dance for 'em anyway, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, and they'll listen grin, you know. But you know, but now they like to get up and do their dance, which that's fine. I mean, it's activity. I mean, exercise. And if it keeps the weight off of them and keeps them physically fit,
Yeah, we have talent shows.
yes. we
Goodness
do.
knows what time of night.
Uh-huh.
4:12. They have their little things set up, you know, and they'll announce, you know, here comes Helen Snead. And,
You have to perform, you know. We have to get up there and perform. Yeah,
And kids love that.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just got to find more ways to engage kids in some of the things that we used to have fun doing.
Yeah.
Or we used to play tag. I mean, at night it'd be so dark, you know, you couldn't hardly see out there running and playing tag with our siblings and our neighbors' children, you know.
We still play hoopy hide in the house.
Yeah, we do with the grandchildren. We'll hide and have more fun with them, you know. It's just, you know, it's part of growing up, and I hope I never grow up as long as I have this much fun.
We always tell each other that we'll grow old and die before we ever grow up.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
This was a wonderful interview.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your enthusiasm. And so this is going to go on a film. We're going to make a film for the 3 counties in Virginia. So there'll be some sound bites, you know, little pieces. But then we'll take most of your interview here and do a little bit of editing with it. And then that will go up on the internet.
Yeah.
So then we'll let you know when that happens.
I would love to get a hold of some of them little monitors, you know, Stephen. That
Yeah, those
I
were.
would love to.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm very enthusiastic about this relationship with the YMCA. In fact, I told those guys I was going to come over to Bristol and try to learn more about their actual program.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a great opportunity working with folks here.
Now we've got some neighbors that go at Abingdon, you know, and do the swimming exercises and stuff like that.
But I think a lot of the stuff they were talking, you don't need to have a big building for this,
No,
so much of this thing.
No.
People sometimes think you have to build these $1 million buildings, but you don't.
Well, a lot of times they're not used, you know, when they build them like that. I mean, they're not used,
No.
or parts of them are not,
No.
you know.
Or we take the children swimming.
You guys are great.
We was hoping to have, you know, like at kids game, we was hoping like we could have had it before school was, you know,
Right.
started, like where we could have had the children after kids game go swimming,
Yeah.
you know, but they closed, so
Yeah.
we can't do
Now, do you take pictures? Are you a photographer?
that. We
Yes.
try, we try.
Well, if you could take some nice pictures of the event on Saturday, I would love to have some, so we can include those. And also, maybe if your support group doesn't mind taking a few pictures of one of the support group meetings.
Okay.
Right? And then we might, you know, because as you're talking about it, it'd be kind of nice to
Yeah.
have some of these pictures to kind of put in.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we both got cameras, and
yeah, that'd be great.
I actually burnt one up one time.
Burn a camera up? How'd you do that?
Oh, we was on a trip, we went out west for 25
I burned
days.
it up before I got to
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
She'd be taking a picture. We was on a bus tour, and we just took pictures of everything that moved, you know. And she'd be going like this, and be focusing, and then lens would go out and hit the window, you know, and she'd jump, you know. But anyway, we took pictures galore, and I had the best memories of them ever was. But the camera tore up, you know, and
Don't tell about my jaywalking. Give me some more batteries.
but
I didn't get caught.
Thank goodness.
Found out that was one place they jailed you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You gotta be careful.
she had just went across the road, honey, and she's in front of me just getting it, you
I was in
know.
a hurry to get me some more
And
batteries.
the light was red, and I just waited, you know. And there's another man walked up, and he said, "Well, the light's red. I think I'll just go on." Another man said, "You better not. Your butt'll be stuck in jail if they catch you. So they'll put you in jail."
We took 7 albums, big albums of pictures when we went to Alaska 29 days.